camera on it. Yes. How are we doing today? Thank you so much for your patience. Okay. You can go, Lisa. Thank you. You're echoing. It is a full house. Thank you so much for being here. I apologize to those who didn't get the mail. We sent out mail earlier today, somewhere around 1 p.m. and of course, going down into a few minutes ago before now. But I had people who reached out to say that they didn't get mail, so they didn't get the link. So I did as swiftly as I could. I ensured that I sent the link out to as many people as I could. So please, if you can, one thing you can do for me is if you invited someone to be here, kindly help me send the link to them, okay? So they can join, right? That's if you, of course, I forwarded the link to a number of people, even personally. I apologize if you didn't get that. So if you have the link, just do well to send it to the ones that you know probably signed up and you do not see in the room. Help me bring them in, all right? Tell them the show has begun. So hello, Lizzie Chalia Bologi. Hi. Tanritmwa. I hope I got that. Bobby Joachim. I see that's my coach. Gloria, Lisa. I see Collins. Collins is my brand consultant. Is my anchor. And he's here. Who am I not saying? Just everyone, thank you so much for trusting me enough to want to do this with me. And so we will just get at it as quickly as possible. Can you see me? Can you hear me? You can leave it in the comments, just so I'm sure. If you can see me and you can hear me, just let me know. So this is a way of getting you involved. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Yes, yes, yes. Loud and clear. Okay, great. Okay, okay. I see you are here. Yes, yes. Thank you. So let's get to my slide. This is one of my tools, just like all of us, get the right tools to put to work. 1 minute, let me share this. 1 minute.
Kauna clinic, how much?
Kauna. Okay.
It was.
Sorry, it's a bit of a mess. Let me just. Can you see my screen? Can we see the screen? Okay.
Yeah, I think TS needs to mute. Okay, good. Yeah, we can't see your screen yet.
Oh, okay. Are we good? Okay. So you all bear with me. As you can see, I'm not a pro with these things. I'm actually getting a hang of it, okay? I'm actually getting a hang of getting to understand this. Kudos to the voice that hears Colin's voice, and he's putting me through to understanding this thing. So let's get to it. So welcome to Living and Thriving as a Multipotentialite. Let me make this a full presentation so that it's just a lot more presentable. Yeah. So welcome to Living and Thriving as a Multipotentialite. And if you are in the room, it means that, you know, you feel like you have something going on that is connected and related to what it is that we're speaking about today. And so I'm just going to quickly introduce myself. We're ready or into time. So hello, fellow multipotentialite. We'll get to what that is, of course, but if you're here, you already have an idea what that means, right? So my name is Mbasity, and multi, like the English people will say, potentialite is just, I'm multi, I have got multiple potentials, just like you have. So hi to you, and this is a quick introduction of who I am. And I deliberately made it like this, so you see what a multi-potentialite is, okay? So I'm a media personality, and under media, I'm an actress, I'm a TV presenter, I'm a news anchor. If you follow my page, you'll see all of this. I'm an event host, I'm a singer. Then I have a degree in psychology. When I did psychology, honestly, it was lack of the option. As when I was in secondary school, I wanted to be a vet doctor, right? I think because medicine it just seemed like the thing. It seemed like fun or what was trending. So I wanted to do medicine, but I didn't have scores enough to get into the medical department. So I had to settle for something else. And the choices then the choice was between microbiology and psychology. And so my brother studied medicine. He did physiology, so the medical department. And so I asked him, because I just wanted to be honest with myself. I struggled with physics and chemistry, by the way, like really badly, but I sure wanted to do medicine. And so I asked him, I'm like, be honest with me, between microbiology and psychology, which is the easiest? And he says, look, microbiology is even more difficult than medicine. I don't even know what he meant by that, but he's like, microbiology is tougher than medicine. And I'm like, thank you very much. And that's how I settled for psychology. But you know the thing of all things working together for good? That's what happened for me. Because psychology is something that I know that if I had not gotten as a degree, I would have done still, even now. So I'm just glad that I have that foundation as, what I did. So I'm a psychologist proudly, not just because that's what I studied, but that's who I am. And under psychology, I happen to be a counselor. I've realized over time that that's one of my giftings. I have what the Bible would call, so hi, if there are any people from other religions here, I'm a Christian, so you might hear those references here and there because my faith is an anchor for my life. So what the Bible would refer to as the gift of counsel, I believe very strongly that I have been gifted with the gift of counsel. Then I'm also a purpose clarity coach, which is something that I just know that I've always been very keen for people to find their place in the world, to find their purpose, to do what they love. Before, it was just an idea or the passion of making people, making them fulfilled, happy. But over time, it's grown into what it should be, which is, more focus on what purpose is. And I've had defining moments in my life that have brought me to this place. So yes, today I can say I'm a purpose clarity coach. If we should give it a title, that kind of thing, right? I'm also a business owner and I have a number of businesses. So I have a beauty business. I had it in Jos. I'm now based in Abuja, but there are a lot of Jos people here, even from the names, So I had a beauty business in Jos, which I still have. I have a fashion business called Thonia Africa, which I'm working on. Then I also have a virtual marketplace. It's called the Sales Merchant, the Service Merchant before, but now the Sales Merchant. So yeah, that is who I am and that's what I do. And that's why I say I'm a multipotentialite. To be honest, I didn't even include that I am a vlogger. I love to vlog. I love to travel. So I love to vlog on my trips. And if you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, then you'll see that. You'll just see that truly this person has different focuses, all right? And I deliberately put that there so you'd see how I relate with you, because I'm sure that if I ask a number of you who you are, which I'm about to do now, then you would also most likely have a long list. Maybe, maybe not, but there would be a number of you who can say more than one thing. And so I'm just going to randomly pick so that I have someone else say something and maybe have like 3 people introduce themselves and say what they do. And see, no pressure, right? I know I have like 10 on that list, but no pressure. at all. Okay, if it's only one thing that you do and you're here and you just want to discover more, then that's perfectly okay. And so I'm going to begin with the first thing that I see. I see Dakore. Shout out to you for pushing this and getting more people in the room. So please, I want to see your face. If you're comfortable with that, may I? And of course, we will definitely hear your voice. Introduce yourself and tell us who you are and what you do, please.
Hi, everyone. Good evening, Varsity. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm sorry you can't see my face, but then again, for everyone, I think a few people in the house actually knows me because I'm seeing some familiar names. I'm a broadcast journalist and the founder of Public Intel Security Africa, a 360 global security intelligence for the public. I broadcast both on the radio and television with Viewer Television. At the moment, I think that's all.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much for
very
sharing that,
much.
Karen. Thank you for being in the room. So, Bolagi, you're my next pick. I see you here as well. Would you kindly introduce yourself, please?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Ambassador, for putting this together. My name is Buligi Stephen. I'm a lawyer, first of all. I'm also a TV producer, host, a talk show host. I am a writer. I'm a spoken word artist. I'm a filmmaker. I'm currently in school also studying screenwriting. So I really want to do movies like big time. I am a wife and a mother. I think that's also part of what I do.
Yes, I do.
I act as well. I'll just stop there. I think I'm forgetting something. Let's just.
You're forgetting something. You see it.
Those are the main things, Sha.
You are in the right room. You are in the right room. And I want to make this as interactive as possible. Honestly, I mean, like what I said was this is a town hall meeting. A town hall different from bar. That's what we're doing here. It's just different. But it's a town hall meeting for multi-potentialites. And so I would truly love for it to be as interactive as possible. And I'm glad that, it's civil. Nobody's talking over anybody else. But yes, I just want us to have fun, really. So I see another name here. I'm not even sure who this is, and that's a joy. Obedapo, comfort. That's new. Obedapo. Is that Yoruba? So Obedapo, are you here? Are you here? Okay. Obedapo isn't here. Let me see who else. I see TAs. Is this the TA that I know or some other TA? Anyway, I see TA. So TA, can you please do us the honors? Brethren, where are you? Okay, so moving on. I see Jemima. Jemima, do you mind? Jemima David. Thank you for breaking the silence.
Hello. Good evening.
Hi, Jemima.
I can't turn.
It's fine. It's fine. It's okay.
Thank you. And my name is pronounced as Jemima, actually.
Not Jemima? Say it right with Jemima. Okay.
No.
Jemima. Hi, Jemima. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, like everyone else, I have so many things that define me. And I would say one of them, most recently, is being a mom. And
we hear that.
I'm a visual storyteller.
Nice.
Visual storyteller.
Congrats.
I love to tell stories of childhood. Thank you. Just document the simplicity of childhood. I also have a passion for early childhood education, and I like to create content for play-based learning. I'm an advocate for play-based learning. And what else? Everything just skipped my mind all of a sudden. Okay, yes.
We get it.
I'm also a media.
Okay.
I'm also a media producer and documentary filmmaker. Yes.
Pleasure to meet you, Jamima. And thank you so much for
Thank you so much.
introducing yourself. Congratulations once again on your baby. Okay, so let's move on.
Thank
So
you so
the good
much.
thing, you're welcome. I don't have so many slides, which is perfect, but we're going to have a lot of talk in between. Slides are just like 12. That's not so many, is it? So who's a multipotentialite? A multipotentialite is a person, I picked this off Google. A multipotentialite is a person who has many different interests and creative pursuits in life. They're wired differently from specialists. So specialists are people who are just right? Directional. They just have one thing, mono, right? Mono, right? Yeah. Directional. They have one thing to do and that's all. So those people are called specialists. So they're different from specialists. Now, being a multipotentialite is our destiny. I mean, we didn't create ourselves. We have many paths and we pursue all of them, either sequentially or simultaneously, or both ways. Now, this that I have on the bottom that you see, multi or multi-potentialites have no one true calling, is a line that I picked up from in between the definition. It was right there. However, when I read it, I didn't quite agree with the fact that we do not have one true calling. And so I decided to put it out, right, differently so that we would speak about it. So I do not agree, or I do not agree or believe that multipotentialites do not have one true calling. What I believe is that we just have a journey to discovering that one true calling. And our journey is usually very unique. Also, all the giftings and the passions that we have somehow are intertwined. Like Jamima and her introduction. You can tell that everything she listed is related to childcare, right? So she does this, she's on the media, she's this, she's that. But there's a core. In the midst of all of this, there's a core. So this is just to say that much as we're widely spread, and at certain phases of our lives, it may seem confusing. We wonder truly what is the purpose. If you search deep within, which we would get to see that that is the core, that is the greatest gift you can have as a multipotentialite, you would see that somehow, it might not be clear all the time, but your giftings, there's just something that is like the small still voice, is that what it's called? That is just seated right there, that you know there's an ultimate goal. There's an ultimate purpose that, again, like I said, is linked up to the others. So now this is my own theory. You know, the thing with psychology is everybody just comes up with their thing, right? So how they believe it. So I believe that we have a true calling, but yes, we have multiple passions, purposes, that lead to that one place. Okay. Moving on. Let me be sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. So number one, I know that a lot of times a number of us struggle. In fact, when I put out the flyers to say this is what I wanted to do, on almost every flyer, I think I posted like 4 on different occasions, you would have someone who is saying that I thought there was something wrong with me. There was a time when I thought there was something wrong with me. So I totally understand, when people, I know there were seasons where I truly was, I hope I'm not jumping myself to speak about the things that I'm going to speak about eventually, but it doesn't matter really. There were times when, I would have what we would know as analysis paralysis, that I am stuck and I'm wondering, is this normal? Am I just trying to do everything? And it is not just in the talking of it, or it's not likely, it's deep. It's the type that a number of people would say has led them to be depressed or has led them to be anxious. Matter of fact, her name is Emily Wapnick. Emily Wapnick is the one who actually coined the word multipotentialite. And in her speech that I was watching in preparation for this, she states that one of the traits of a multipotentialite is some level of anxiety. Not anxiety because we just always want to be busy. Sometimes it's anxiety because, not like I totally agree, I beg. Not that you live here now, and when you feel anxiety, you say, oh, it's part of my traits. No, no, please, okay? But I feel like what she was trying to say is because we are usually at a place where we're not certain, there are just too many things pulling us in different directions. And in the society and the culture and the world that we're in, it seems like, you know, like that's not how it's supposed to be. So because of that, we're confused. We may be lost. We may have highs and lows. And so that's why I thought it was very important that I put this out first, for you to understand that you are perfect. Your wiring is deliberate. I would have been able to put this on another slide, but I'm like, you know what, let it just stand out. If you're here and you felt any confusion about who you are or your wiring, maybe you should take a picture of this and just have it stored somewhere. Understand that this is how you have been made, and it is deliberate, and it is on purpose, and it is by the divine. And here is how I know. So this is how I know that we are unique. The servant, I'm looking at time and I'm wondering if I should get to read this. If you saw me looking down, that was what I was trying to look to get. But I'll just narrate the story. And I'm sure that if you are a Christian, then this is a familiar story, right? Now, if you are, of course, if you don't know the story, I'm gonna summarize. So Jesus was talking about of course, like we know, he speaks in parables and shares about, you know, how we can understand what the kingdom of God is like. And he shares this story. Wait 1 minute. So this is Matthew 25:14. 1 minute. Let me just read it very quickly. Sorry. So again, it will be like a man going on a journey who called the servants and entrusted his wealth to them. To one, he gave 5 bags of gold, to another 2 bags, and to another 1 bag. For me, that is a major catch. And, you know, the interesting part for me is at the point where this parable came to mind for me was it was at a point where I was in the midst of my confusion of why I was the way that I was. Because I'll be honest with you, there are times when ideas just drop on you like every day. And you were also bothered that you would be perceived a certain way. And I will speak for myself because I'm going to be sharing. The only reason why I can come to the point today to say I'm even sharing anything about being a multi-potentialite, or, you know, having this webinar, or feeling like I have come to a place reasonably that I would even be able to share that would help others, is because I've walked through my journey as well. And so I'm going to be sharing certain things from my journey, you know, that just bring it all together. I'm a social media girl. I love to tell stories. It's who I am. So every now and then when I have an idea dropping or I have something going on, I'm putting it out. I'm sharing, I'm posting. When I overcame, I was laying in my bed when I thought about this. When I thought of the service merchant, which is now the sales merchant, which is in my introduction, it was, I think we were having prayers going on. No, of course, I always knew that every time I see somebody love and do something very excellently well, or market a product, or put out a product, or I come across it, I just like to share it with other people. I just like to say, oh, see this beautiful thing created. I just like to share people's creativity, you know? So I'm like, why don't you turn this into business? You know, and just make a certain percentage every time you get to market something. And the name it became established during one of the first session that I was. Now, not everything comes like from the place of a spiritual or a religious point of view, but that was how I got that idea. And that's how ideas drop on me. And I'm sure that that's how ideas drop on you. You just sleep and wake up, and then you just have something, you know, coming for you. And so it was during one of those seasons where I had ideas all around, and I'm like, God, why am I even like this, really? Like, is this normal? Am I overdoing? And honestly, the Spirit of God just dropped this in my heart. And then, like, there was one with the 10 talents. Actually, it was even the 10 that came to mind. Because going down in the story, you would see that the talents he multiplied to 10. And maybe I should read it. I feel like I should, just so we get certain points out of it, because this, in a lot of ways for me, has a way of showing us who we truly are. That the master, which we believe is the creator, did this deliberately. So to some, he gave 5. To some, he gave 2. To another, he gave 1. Each according to their ability. Then he went on his journey. The man who had received 5 bags of gold went at once and put his money to work and gained 5 bags more. For me, this would be the talent. So he went with his 5 bags and put all 5 bags to work. He didn't say, oh, let me do one first. Let me do the second one first. He actually says he went, put all his 5 bags. So the man who had received 5 bags of gold went at once and put the money to work and gained 5 bags more. So also the one with the 2 bags and the one with the other bags. Now, one thing that I also pick from this is, aside the fact that God would give you talent, it is also expected to multiply based on the measure of that which he has given you. And most times you can be in the way of that productivity because the productivity that can come from the talents that have been given are already established in the talents that you have been given, in the multiple passions that you have been given. And so it is like a seed, putting a seed to the ground. If the seed in the ground is supposed to yield and grow to a certain extent and yield a certain harvest. But if you do not put the seed in the ground, then it cannot multiply and it cannot yield to the extent of the produce that it's supposed to yield, right? So there's the place of the gift that has been given, which is perfect. However, if we do not put the giftings to work and the talent to work, if we do not go to the market and sell it, like multiply it, or allow them or put them in the ground, then they will not yield. That's it. So 5, 2, 1, all perfect. The people who are specialists are special. There's nothing wrong with them, but there's also nothing wrong with all, and there's also nothing wrong with us. So for specialists, it's not like we don't have, I can't say, well, we will know our edges here, right? But by the placement of nature or the placement of purpose, I don't think anyone has one above another. Sorry, Ilyasu. Ilyasu mai doki, don Allah za ka yi muting. Yeah, could you please, can you just mute? Thank you. All right. So none is special than another. Multipotentialites are not, by the placement of the divine, I can say multipotentialites are not more special than specialists, and specialists are not more special than multipotentialites. However, we'll know our uniqueness here. All right, that's the idea. Okay, so number 2, you are passionate about what you do. Passion is a drive, right? If it remains in your heart, if you have tried to shake it off, and I know that with the struggles of what seems acceptable in our society, there is a tendency for you to want to be like what society expects. Show that, you're single-minded, you're focused, you're responsible, you're not all over the place, wondering what you want to do. But there's always a notch, there's always something within you. Someone commented to say that there are times when I think it's a he, decided to just focus on one thing, but he realized that it seemed to him like he had the capacity to do more than this one thing. So the passion that drives you, the knowing, sometimes it's even beyond, the passion, of course, is a good guide, but there's almost like a deeply seated knowing that do this thing, I can't do these 3 at once. You just know, but I understand, of course, because of the uniqueness or the way that we have not really been acknowledged in our society, it's difficult because, so I said I was going to speak about this. We are like, in the X-Men. So you see how ideas go from multipotentialite. I literally thought about this afternoon. X-Men, you remember the mutants? That's how we are. We're like the mutants, right? Mutants, right? If you know X-Men, that's Xavier, the people, the water, fire. They were like a unique set of people in their society. And they were considered somewhat. So that's who we are, right? Like in this X-Men world, we're the X-Men, we're the mutants, you know, and I know sometimes it's difficult. Hi, Buki Komolafe, please mute your mic for now. Hi, good to see you. Okay, so, but you are passionate, there's something that drives you, and that's very important. So you are also gifted for it. So you realize that you're not only passionate, because sometimes you can be passionate and your gift is struggling. There can still be something there. There are people who are passionate about music, but when you listen to them, you know, you know, there are people who are also passionate and very gifted. However, I do not undermine the passion about it because I'm more passionate to drive. I know people make this, I don't know football so much, soccer, but people do the comparison between Messi and Ronaldo, and they would say Messi is gifted, he's a natural. Ronaldo is hard work. So what they mean by that is Ronaldo, it wasn't, I would say wasn't because right now, even though they are dragging GO80 the goats, and they say Messi is ahead, but because of I think the number of scores or them winning the championship and blah blah, but you would still put them on the same level. Please, football lovers, don't come and start fighting here and just say it based on us, the one that we know. We'll still put them, you know, that's where they are, that they're like in the same category in class, but they will accord one to hard work and they will accord one to his talent, even though there's hard work involved in both, right? So just saying that even when people are passionate but are not very gifted, but they have the passion to drive them, they can actually build up to the place where they actually get to where their talent seems like it's their first gift, just by hard work and putting in the commitment and the skill. So you are also gifted for it in whatever degree or whatever measure. You know that you have a gift to do it. Not that you don't totally have a gift too. That's a different ballgame, please, I beg. But you have a gift that makes it easy. So there are other people like you. So you're not alone. And even if you were, even if you were, look, it's fine. There's nothing uncommon in the world. So, but there are other people like you, and I have a list of some people. So Justin Timberlake, I decided to pick on certain people that we're familiar with. Justin Timberlake, of course, is a singer, an actor, and a dancer. And I don't know why multipotentiality seems to be more with people in the creative space or in the performing arts. It seems like that's our territory. That's like our safe haven, you know. We're always having a link to that. Ilyasu, your mic is on again. So Victoria Beckham in fashion in blah blah, but this one catches me. So the third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, he was into politics and he also loved architecture and a number of other things. Now, I also came across someone called Douglas Hofstadter, some name like that. He was born in 1945. He's considered the 9th most talented man of all time in the world. And here are the things that he did. He was a professor in cognitive science. He's an author, mathematician, philosopher, academic musician, physicist. Yes, yes. And you see the beautiful part. There are many other people who have done this thing that we are afraid to do, which is to totally express ourselves without fear of judgment or missing the goal or missing something. There are people, if you go on Google, there's a word as multipotentialite because people have existed like that. Matter of fact, it was called polymath. And polymath goes polymath, right? Polymath. It goes as far back as 1603, like 16 from time immemorial. They've always known that there were people who had the unique ability to be able to be knowledgeable about different fields of life. It's called Renaissance man. We're actually called universal person. Like you're called a universal person. It has a class. I was reading it, you know, in preparation for this, just researching. I'm like, see what they even call us. it puts us in a place of being unique. It's actually a treasure. It's a gift to be like that. And again, the point here is that, oh, we're not on this page, we're here. The point here is that you're not alone. There have been people like you. In fact, you have been identified. Your category or our category had been identified long before now. We're struggling in 2023 to accept our identity, but people like us have been existing since the 16th century, right? So yeah, we're good. Now, here are some of our struggles, and a number of you must have read this already. Some of our struggles are, which one should we do? Yesterday, I put up a post and I said, the answer to this, I think the question was, which should I choose? And I said, the answer to this is choose all. How, even though there's a method to it, okay? But one of our confusion is, which should I do? So we're confused. I want to go to, I remember one of my girls, I'm not sure, Dory, are you here? But I'm not sure it's Dory. I think it's, I don't remember her name. But one of my girls from Just, who is in the media, she sent me a message, and it was a good trigger for me to, think about this. It kind of started shifting my mind to the fact that, oh, there are other people, Mbasity, there are other people like you who actually need direction. They need to understand that this is the thing, because, sometimes you truly just think you're in your world. It's just you probably are just like alone. And so that's why this community also helps. And having this meeting, I see there are 26 of us here. It means that somehow we all can relate to the fact. And, this is just a pointer to the fact that you are truly not alone. No. We're a large community. And so when I had her send me that message, she said she wanted to do, I think, radio and blah, blah, blah. And then she says that, but it was upon her heart at the time to go learn web design. And it's like, I'm a media girl. What is web design now? What am I doing with that one now? Where is that one coming from? And so she had it on her mind to do that. And of course, as you know, I told her, go do it, and we're going to touch on that. The fact that you never know what's ahead of you and why those passions are linked there. Trust your inner guide, okay? So there's a confusion as to why we are the way we are. Should we truly indulge? Should we not indulge? Which should we do? I have like 5 different passions. Which one should we take on? Then the analysis paralysis, which is what I mentioned earlier, where you were like this picture with all the confusions, and at some point, because of so much analysis, you feel paralyzed. This happens to me a number of times. And sometimes it happens with ideas. It happens with even a to-do list. So it doesn't have to always only do with your giftings. It can happen to you just trying to do it to-do, like you have a lot of things to do in the day, and it just seems overwhelming. And then you realize that the day ends and you have done literally nothing because you feel paralyzed by, or overwhelmed actually, and then it paralyzes you, right? So how we are perceived is also a very major factor. If you followed my post, I think on the second day after, was it Tuesday? So this story, some of you have seen it already. It happened last year, funny. I even thought it was longer than that. I thought that last year, I'd already started settling into being a multi-passionate, multi-talented girl. Like I was accepting me. But clearly when I saw the date, I'm like, this was like a year ago. So it means even that as at a year ago, you were still struggling with accepting who you are. You were still in a bit of confusion. You didn't come to that place. And so it was one of those seasons again. Matter of fact, it's almost like a continuous journey for us until we get to the place of total acceptance, where the moment we begin to multiply. And, relating it to the story of the 5 talents, when one talent begins to become fruitful to multiply another, yes, it begins to overwhelm us because now we're stretching into more bags or more multiplication. And for me, I've realized that over time, as I open up to being able to express, as I accept an idea and I'm able to birth it, it's an unending flow. The moment I put a wedge or I say, no, it's too much. The moment I shall, for whatever reason, put something in the way, there's no inspiration again. But the moment a part of me accepts it, whether it's that, I don't know, maybe I begin to execute, or I just accept that this is something I'm going to work on. I just accept the idea. It's an avalanche. You begin to multiply. The talent begins to multiply. There's just more ideas flowing. So in that season, this person, I had an idea to create a marketplace, which is something I've always been doing. I've been doing from Jos. But when I came to Abuja, I'm like, it's just nice to have an online marketplace where you have different vendors to sell. So, and for me, it's easy because you can know where to go and get what you need, even personally. And then it's easy for people to also be able to sell their businesses. So I created a market and I put it on my status. And I'm like, hi, Kuti, happiness, is that you? Good to see you. Can you mute your mic, please? Thank you. So I put it up on my status and I'm like, I'm thinking to create a marketplace for business people in Abuja. What do you think? Let's create a group so that, it's easier for market people to be able to know what they do, and then you can recommend people. It's just a fantastic idea as far as I'm concerned, this virtual marketplace thing. Then I posted it. And then someone who, to be honest, I still consider my friend, but we've not even been in touch in like this whole period, but no hard feelings at all, says something like, Dama, now everything you want they do. Or now everything, like you're all over the place. You want to do everything before. Just something that perhaps if I wasn't in a season of also accepting my confusion of how my wiring was, I wouldn't have taken personally. Perhaps, I don't know. But because I was at a place, it hit me so hard. And I told him, Dorothy, your mic, please. And I told him, I said, you know what, I'm going to just unblock you because this makes you feel uncomfortable. Now, also, if you listen to that voice note, I said, you had always given me a vibe. And he also agreed to the fact that, well, I see what you do, almost, saying this is from a place of love. I care about you. I just don't want you to, there are a lot of things that, you can just pick, one or two and just focus on them, put your energy, and you will get all the results that you desire. You don't have to be all over. Sometimes I see some things that you do that will not be fruitful for you. It won't, it won't. I say, okay. So that's part of our confusion, how we are perceived externally. And sometimes it's possible that people actually do it from a place of concern. But it doesn't change the fact that this puts some pressure on us because it makes us wonder, are we normal? And I told him, and I said, I'm sorry, I'm going to block out this negativity. And if you listen to that voice, I said, because I'm also on a journey of discovering myself. Like, this is not the time when I need this thing. Whether it's from a genuine place or not, I don't just need this. That mama, sorry, I speak Hausa, so like, you just want to do everything. I'm like, so I'm just going to, for now, literally the first person I blocked. Sometimes I want the ambassador, were you just being too sensitive? No, it's the weight of our calling. It's the weight of our uniqueness. And truly, that's how it's been, but I totally have no hard feelings. And one thing that I also mentioned is after, the person mentioned and said, you can just put this whole energy in one or two things. I just said, number one, this is clear that you do not know me. Number two, if you think that it's because of money or because I'm driving for success, it's success I'm looking for, I want to hammer that I'm doing these things that I'm doing, then it's laughable. You truly don't know me. Because the truth is, what drives us is the passion that we have. And what is the source of the passion that we have? We don't even know. We're just the way that we are. We're just the way that we are. But we know that it is, when I say we don't even know, I just mean that it is our wiring. It's not something that we have control over. It's how we're made. So yes, we are fine. But yes, there will be people who perceive us like that. And because of this perception that we get from people, which is our culture and our society, and the most, if I'll be honest, it has a way of limiting us. It makes us struggle. It doesn't allow us express ourselves because you yourself, you know that whether people are telling you or they're not telling you, they are looking at you with bombastic side eye. They're looking at you with, it has come again. Okay, well, what is it this time? You know, so there's a part of it that knows how people are going to be reading it, but so it can be limiting. And yes, we ask ourselves, are we truly directionless? Directionless is my word. Are we truly, do we truly lack direction, as people say that we do? Is that a place? And so this has a way of making us even feel more confused and struggle a lot with expressing ourselves. So that's it. Now, here is how I believe we can take advantage of being wired. Through this conversation, I've established the fact that, look, this is who we are. Accept who you are. It is divine. It is deliberate. How I see it, God, it's killing one bird. No, killing what? One bird with two stones. No, killing, how is that thing said? Two birds with one stone, have you? So in our own case, it's killing like 5 birds with one stone. It's like, let me make bologi or kuti or comfort and put them in this environment, in Jos or Abuja. And they have multiple potentials and talents. And these giftings that I've placed in them can meet various needs at the same time. So with one person, you can have different things sorted. That's God's way of being economical. Okay, but yes, that's another way for me to say it. That's God's way of being economical, right? So yeah, that's it. I want to see your faces. Let me see you people. I want to see responses. I want to see, because now it seems like, am I just talking to myself? Are you people even enjoying this thing? Am I boring you? Or, and story, how is it doing? How are we? Please.
We are all fine.
We're good. Thank you, Elias. How is it going?
Welcome.
Is it making sense, guys? Spam? Can I just get something? All right.
You're making sense. You're making sense.
Thank you.
Right
Thank you.
You're making sense. Keep going. We're here.
Thank you, so. Oh, I can't see I see the chats. Maybe I should get to the chats. You, please, if anything drops in your heart, post it. Please write down. Good job. Thank you, fam. Thank you. Oh, wow. This is encouraging. Thank you, fam. Thank you. I'll keep reading. I'm a laboratory scientist, an entrepreneur, I'm a fashion designer, a baker, and finally, I'm currently a student studying public health. Well done, ma. Oh, Comfort, you didn't want to come up, but okay. No, Comfort, did you? But anyway, good to see that. Okay. Can see you clearly. Let me see, whatever. Great point. Thank you. You're doing well. Okay, so fam, please keep dropping the feedback. It just helps me know that we're on course. Things are going well here. Okay. All right. So how do I take advantage of my wiring, your wiring? Allow your inner guides to lead you. Now, when I say this, I mean it. It's okay to have books and have, those how to be, how to not be. But one thing that I've realized as a multipotentialite is if I pay attention to my inner guide, I'm better off. Matter of fact, you might want to be looking for direction, and you would come across 5 different books that you read because you're looking for direction. You'll pick certain things, right? I'm not saying you won't, but it is possible to come across certain resources that you feel will give you the direction that you want, but you will still know that something is missing. You still feel off. You still know. Say, okay, you'll be managing the answers that you have gotten from the resources because you know that within you, there is something that is more or doesn't totally agree with that. It might not dispute it, but it doesn't totally feel like it has answered your questions. And I was watching someone yesterday who is a multi-potentialite, has been doing great things regarding that. And she says, unfortunately, for people like us, nobody can truly be your guide. You are your greatest guide. Honestly. And I'll speak for my own journey because, like I said, the reason why I can think that I've attained some level of, experience to do this is because I've walked this journey. Your inner guide, when it comes to your passions, your giftings, your expressions, are the best guide that you can have, regardless of what people say on the outside. That's why, like I said, people still say things on the outside. That's why people told me, focus on this. Start with this one, then you would do this. People still said all of that. But my inner guide led me to believe that I could do more. That's why I would have comments like that where people say, I just know that I can do more than people are restricting me to do. So allow your inner guide to lead you. First point, allow your inner guide to lead you. Second point, there are seasons for your giftings. Pay attention to the seasons. You would realize, like it happened to me and this person I'm speaking about, when I said she wanted to learn web designing. You just realize that in a particular season, there is something that is more leading out of your other passions. The other passions are there. When I came into 2023, I knew, oh, really? 1 minute, guys, says my laptop is, sorry. I knew that it was the season for me to focus on the Pathfinder, to focus on what I am doing now. Because the Pathfinder, as in 2 months ago, I didn't know I was going to have this webinar. And that's how we are. 2 months ago, maybe a month ago, you know I was going to have a webinar. But because I had accepted that this is the season for me to be the Pathfinder and do these other things that I do, it's opening up to more ideas. It's opening up to it's opened up to another thing that I'll share at the end of this meeting. It's opening up to other things. But like I was saying, when I came into 2023, I just knew that acting, nothing. In 2022, in 2020, acting was the top on my priority. 2020 was when I started doing monologues. I would usually not do, but that year I said, this is my monologue year. So I was doing acting, monologues, even in lockdown, monologues. I got gigs. I went to Taraba, did a movie. I think I did another. And I can tell you that even until now, some of the things that I am reaping as it concerns my gifting of being an actor came from 2020. Some of the opportunities I'm still getting, oh, that's the, we saw this, we wanted to come and there's something coming up with it. You know, some of them came from, some of the gigs I did last year, the Rishantes and a number, had some connection of bearing to when in 2020, the leading passion for me was to act. So our life is a journey. It's a journey of self-discovery. It's a journey of exploring. So it's important to know the seasons. And truly, there are times when sometimes it's more than one passion or one leading passion. So let me call it a leading passion in that season. And there can be more than one. But you would know that it's not a season, even though, of course, your whole embodiment is about different talents and different giftings. You know that for the next, now it just feels to me like in the next 1 month, I should focus on this. But it just feels to me like in the next 3 months, the whole of 2023, I should focus on this. 6 months. You just somehow know from within you that this is the season for one of the gifts. And what is important that you also do not do is insist that when a season has ended, you must stay there because it will make you seem unserious. like you must stay in the season, because you're just wasting the time for you're breaking your journey, you're what now? You're delaying your progression to the end point of the journey of your purpose and your life. Okay, so please pay attention. It will come in seasons. I was on radio for I've seen seasons. And you know that, I beg. I have seen seasons. I have had seasons. As an actor, which I've shared, as a radio presenter. Let me give an example with my radio journey. So in 20, I think from 2014, 2015, 2014, yeah, I started doing radio. I was a freelance radio presenter. I had always TV was my first passion. TV still is my first passion. I just believe that I'm more convincing when I'm seen. So I prefer to do like videos instead of just do a podcast, or I'll do both. You must see me, you know? So, but at the time, even though I was presenting at the time in Just For, I think I did the bits of something with Ugama, I didn't really have TV opportunities. So I think one of the times I had a conversation with someone that triggered something, and I'm like, perhaps I should start with radio. Radio wasn't an option initially. But I'm like, maybe I should do radio. Radio and TV are connected, right? So, and the rules are not exactly so, like it's the media field. They're connected majorly. They have different rules, but it's not like they're far-fetched. So maybe I should use radio as a training ground for me to be able to prepare me for TV. And so that's how I started radio. And the truth, it's not like I wasn't passionate about radio at all. It's just that radio was on the bottom of the passion chain, if you get what that means. So of course I knew I could do radio, but TV was more ahead. TV was more a leading passion than radio was. So I'm like, okay, let me just do radio since that's what is available for now. And so I did radio and I loved it. 2017, I started working with KTFM as the pioneering staff. It was a joy. It was a joy. A whole year, I looked forward to going to work. There were times when I was going to work 6 days in a week. I had the energy for the season. I will go to work with Christmas, so we're busy that's when I started doing my dance videos. Christmas, it opened me up to another, I'm looking for the right word. Like another part of my life that was so creative that I did not know existed. So I always knew I was a creative person, but I didn't mention, I used to be a banker. I just did banking wasn't my thing. I'm like, oh, let me just take this for a while. I don't get a job. Let's be going. I got tired. So that's also something with multipotentialites. Somehow you will know when you get to the point that your time is up at a place. You can tell. And I said one day I'll be working this banking hall. I'll just fall down here because I don't tire. It was stressful. Oh, Ambassador, yeah, always smiling. And I could tell I was struggling because of my wiring, I'm not given to, let me put it this way, and please don't judge me, paying attention to details. That you must cross the I like this, you must cross the T, it will bend. You must put dot. I am not, don't judge me. I am not wired like that. I am not wired to, and banking requires that you have 4 eyes, that you are paying attention to every detail. So I did better in certain departments. I was in HR, in fact, I begged them to leave me there. But when it came to, even with customer service, which I was on, I was good with, one-on-one, talking to people, just the warmth, and they loved me when I go to a place, all of that, because, customer service, I love customer service. It's also one of those things I believe that I can do. But when it comes to paper, documentation, account opening, ensuring that this person brings their ID and it's matching their face and their name, their first and last name, and that's stress. I just lose it. So I struggled for a while, and then time came where even as a banker, I would go audition for movies, and they'll call me back, and I cannot go for the audition because I can't. I'm in the banking hall. So Tinsel had called me. I was in Lagos for a leave one time, and Tinsel called me to audition, called for an audition, and I went on audition with Tinsel, and I got a call back, and I couldn't go because I was back at work in the banking hall. They sent me 2 or 3 callbacks for certain casts on Tinsel. I was in Abuja at the time, and I couldn't go to Lagos. It ended, and I got transferred to Jos. And this was like many months later. Tinsel phone called me. The crew of Tinsel phone called me and told me that they were doing a short list for a new series, and they wanted me to come audition. So they picked my audition from Tinsel, and we're casting for a new series. And so they selected me as one of the people that they wanted to audition. So they phone called me to come to Lagos. I was in the banking hall. It was end of 6 p.m. I was doing accounts things. So it was a Friday, thank God. And so I went. I went to Lagos Saturday. And that's what passion does to you. And it wasn't about, oh, they must pick me, they must not pick me. There was just a part of me that wanted to be in that space. I just wanted to experience it. It was just exciting. Pick me or don't pick me, I'm going. So I paid for my flight. I went to Lagos and I auditioned. And when I auditioned, they said it was a matter of like, some were like, good. Some were like, because there's, like a panel. And so the producer came out and he saw me and he's like, are you the lady that came from Jos? I say, yes. He said, you came all the way from Jos just for this audition. Like, why did you come? I said, I wanted to come and it didn't matter whether I was going to get picked or not. He said, you're serious? I said, yes. He said, come. And so we go into one of the rooms because then it was their studio, because Tinsel had like studios until it burned. And so he sat down, he said, like, why? What do you do? What exactly do you want to do with your life? He said, when you auditioned, some said you were good. The moment they just said, oh, that's the bank, they were kind of contemplating and say, oh, that's the banker girl. Oh, that's the girl that came from Jos. That is a banker, the banker girl that came from Jos. He just said, I'm sorry, it's not going to work. He said, whether you are the best person here, you're bad business for me. And I'm sharing this, and I think it's a good time for you to know that it's possible that some of you here are in the wrong space. And what you're doing is you're delaying the manifestation of your full potential. You're slowing your journey down to the ultimate goal because your journey is a process. Okay, let me look at time. Hey, my Lord. Okay, your journey is a process. All right. So it's important that you make that decision or make an exit plan and begin to walk in the path of your purpose. And after that conversation, after he told me, we're not picking you, sorry, I go back to my banking hall on Monday, because I go back on Sunday. Monday, I go back to the banking hall. And on Wednesday, they sent me a text. They said, you have been shortlisted for a character. So now you know the show that I'm speaking about is The Johnsons. It's The Johnsons, and the character I auditioned for was Jennifer in The Johnsons. It was eventually that I realized I was Jennifer. But I was a banker. So I sent them a message. I said, I'm sorry, I can't come. And that was how that ended. But all of that came to the point where I realized, okay, you know what, university is not where it should be. And I feel like it's also, it comes together with my purpose, which has to do with helping people discover their own purpose. And I needed to make my own purpose decision. And so that's how I took a walk from banking. Okay, so I left banking and then I left banking for a free show. I was not getting paid on Rhythm FM. I took over from somebody once in a week. So I literally left banking to nothing. But I started my journey in the media. It was tough financially, but I had no regrets. I had just gotten married, and me and hubby were doing like this, like that, and God has helped us. Now here we are, no regrets. So you might make some seemingly painful decisions at some point when it comes to expressing your gift, but it's all for the greater good. And I'm telling you, time will come that you look back and you say, it was worth it. It was worth it. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? The greatest thing you can do to yourself is get to the end of the road. And like I say, an illustration that somebody said, that you climb on the building and you take your time and climb on the building and you see that all your life you were climbing on the wrong building. You climb the ladder, but you reach the top and then you say, oh, how many years? I've been climbing this for like 20 years of my life. And it was the wrong building. So make that decision. Okay, so did I digress? I'm sorry. Back to the seasons. So I was with Katie, did a whole year with KTFM full of fire, full of zest. My birthday, I was working. New Year, I was working. Christmas, I was working. You know, when you're doing the job you don't like, you'll be sulking. Even on the, you'll be looking for, what's it called? Public holiday. Just so you can break off when you're on the job that you do not like. But this one, I'm like, okay, oh yeah, let's do it. We make it fun. After 1 year, I just started having a certain feeling. I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm at the place where I want to get back to be able to do my other passions. I want to get back to acting. I want to get back to expressing these other passions that I have or my other giftings. And so after that year, I became, it stayed there for like a month or two. And one thing that God has helped me do is I don't tarry too long in a place of uncomfortability when it comes within. I am a risk taker. I would jump out of it. I would take it. That's what I do, you know. So I've kind of built myself and mastered how I'm able to make decisions as it concerns my purpose, giftings, talents, calling, and being this multi-potentialite. And so I became a casual staff. Of course, my salary dropped. Well, I knew what I wanted to do. And so it's important that for us, money is not the only motivation. Money will come, I promise. So I became a casual staff, and I was casual for like a year. And after a year, I just knew this thing is limiting me. I can't travel because I was working 3 days in a week. I can't go to Lagos to go do movies. I can't, okay, let me be freelance. So I became freelance like in the next year. So to the people on the outside, it might seem like, what's wrong with this person? Can they stay on this job for as long as they should and blah, blah, blah. But you know your drive. You know your journey. And let me tell you the truth. People might not even understand the process until you get here. Now I have people sending me messages to say, how have you been able to work, to do this much things and still thrive? But there were times when I felt like, won't this put me in bad light, that I'm doing too much? But now I'm like a point of reference or hope or encouragement or the possibility that people can do it because I obeyed my inner leadings, because I didn't listen to people judging me from the outside. And now everybody sees it and everybody's happy, right? Everybody's happy now. But then even me, I was wondering. So that's it. So know the seasons of your life. When I entered this year, like I said, it was going to be pathfinding for me. But guess what? I've also been in a movie. It wasn't priority. What it means is when it comes, if it doesn't work with my schedule, I can now call the shots. I have built my gifting. And with every season, when this passion begins to pull on you, you're perfecting your skill. You're perfecting your skill. But time comes when you are in all seasons. You know, you can just, if it's this, you're able to do it. If it's that, you're the one who will determine whether or decide whether, oh, okay, I can do this. In 1 week, last week, I went for a photo shoot for a movie I had done. I went to MC an event. If you follow me, you would have seen that as well. That's where I met a number of people who are on this platform, you know, because at different seasons of my life, they were like the leading passions. Now, my profile is streamlined, right? The Pathfinder and media personality, because media personality kind of covers the other stuff that I do. But before, my profile, MC, actor, singer, it had everything. It had everything that I did right there, you know. But now, I know the seasons of my life. And people already know that I do this stuff. And I do them quite well, to God's glory. But to God's glory, yes, because I allowed myself express in the seasons that they were meant to be perfected or honed. All right? So that's it with knowing the seasons. So do not stay longer than you should in a season. Now, this is something that my little girl, shout out to her, Lisa, she's on this, shared with me, and I thought it was very important to note. So create an outline or a chart that reflects your interest based on their level of passion, of course, the level of passion and ability. And so the chart can help guide your decisions. So it's the way that I mentioned initially that for some, you know that you love music, is the way that I know that I love what? Travel. I love travel, but I know that when it happens, it happens. You know, if there's an opportunity for it and I have the time for it, I'm gonna do it. When I travel, I'll vlog. And trust me, I believe that if I decide to be a travel vlogger, I will do a good job at it. I know I will. I love to travel. I love to explore. I love it, you know, but I just know that it's one of those interests, but it's not the leading passion. So when you create that chat, and please, this is like a take home, sit down and write out everything you believe you're passionate about, especially if you're confused as to which you should do. Write them out, see which is the leading passion. And again, remember that these leading passions will come in seasons. So pay attention to your inner leading and know what season you were in based on the leading passion per time for now. Okay? And then you work with that. So you hone it. Well done, fam. Okay, how to take advantage of your wiring. Yeah, I've done this, right? What's up? Okay, great. Okay, so this is also part of that. Explore. Do not set a limit on yourself. Very important. Allow your creative juices flow. You never know what it is preparing you for. So it's the way that I told, what's her name? And the name is somewhere. She's most likely here. I'm sorry. But it's the way I told her, if web designing is what's on your mind right now, go do it. Because we have a compass, and the compass is our soul, right? Our compass is engraved, is on our inside. Is that the word, engraved? It's on our inside. It's God leading, it's the divine leading. That's how we're led. Wallahi. It's what it is. There's no better way to put it, that there'll be an external thing. The external things will only bear witness with what you have on your inside. And this applies to any area of life at all. But especially for us who have the tendency to do so much, we are at the place where we're in the greatest need of a guide, you know. So this comes from within. And so as you allow your creative juices flow, you prepare yourself for something ahead that you probably don't know would come. You never know, you know, that would appear on your journey. There might just be something that would require that you express in that particular area. And sometimes it will feel like you just did this thing, you put your heart and you did these things for 3 months and you don't use it for the next 3 years. In the next 3 years, you just see that other passions have come and they've taken over. But you know that you've already built a skill or you've learned this thing when it happened. And then after 3 years, you just see that one opportunity or one situation will come, and then maybe it's a job opportunity in line with your passion, and you will see that the extra edge or what gives you an added advantage is the fact that you have that skill that you learned 3 years ago. That's it. So you never know. So allow your creative juices flow and allow your inner compass guide you. Okay. Oops, 1 minute. We're almost done. I didn't think, you know, initially I said it's just 12 slides. We'll finish. Before I know it, 30 minutes. We'll even reach 1 hour. I'm looking at my camera like, okay. Let me rush this. So what are our advantages as multi-potentialites? Adaptability. We can easily adapt to different situations because of our ability and talent and creativity. And you agree with me, because you have different talents, because you're also a creative person, you can see that you can create solutions. Like you can create answers to problems. Like if there's a challenge now, you have creativity that somehow you're able to just find a way around it and work something out. And I have personally realized that the more I allow myself express my creativity, it has just become kind of easy. Even me recently, I'm like, Basti, somehow you find a way around doing something. Somehow, I want to edit something, whether it's even Canva or just these things that I'm learning to use, there will be a way, you know. And it comes with working the gifting, and you just realize that, you know, it's easier. So adaptability, you can adapt in any situation. You have multiple gifts to adapt. We are an embodiment of multiple solutions. And yes, that's right. Like I said, I believe that God just put us and says, let's kill 5 birds with 1 stone and let's save economics, right? When we put this person here, they can do so much. And what this means is your impact can be huge. This is actually it's deep. It's deeper than, you know, just like the words, oh, I'm a solution. It's deep. It means that your impact can be very huge. Okay. Then idea synthesis. Idea synthesis is something I picked from Emily's webinar. three things she mentioned about the superpower of a multipotentialite. I have that here. She says idea synthesis. So I just picked that. She also mentioned adaptability. I stated it here before I even realized, but she mentioned adaptability, which is right. And then rapid learning. So rapid learning for me would be that we can assimilate things very fast. We can catch things, but things in line with our purpose and passion. It's not like it's everything, you know. If you're not given to science, you would struggle. There are certain fields, you know. But yes, generally we can adapt, especially with life situations, things that concern life, you know. Then idea synthesis, something she mentions. We have the power to be able to merge two ideas. We have a meeting point. So you have an idea. I don't have a clear example. I don't want to stay on it, but your bringing is like fashion and science. So because you have some inclination to science or something particularly in the science field, and then you're passionate about passion, you somehow create a meeting point. So it's almost like you say, I can create a suto that will give you oxygen. You understand? Something like that. You know, I can create something that is a combination of fashion that is stylish and actually help your health. So there's a idea, there's always a meeting point. Look, what we have is truly a superpower, fam. Like, it's deeper than what this webinar can carry, but we're doing our best. Okay, so let me just quickly go through. Okay, let me take the last one, then I'll go through some of the comments. Oops, sorry. So we're fruitful in every season, and you know what this means. So aside that, you're making your impact, you know, and in every season, you're able to be a solution to other people. What this means is that in every season, am I clicking on the right thing? In every season, you can be productive. You know, again, I'll refer to the Bible where it says, it's planted by the waterside, a tree planted by the waterside produces, you know, all round. This is me paraphrasing. And we know that with life, there are different seasons for different plants or fruits or seeds or nature generally. But when you are a multipotentialite, you are fruitful in every, it seems like with every season, you will find a way. There's something for you to be able to bear fruit from. And particularly why I put this there is financially. By the time you're able to allow yourself express your giftings, hone your skills, go through the process, and following your guide, you are able to be fruitful in every season. I told you, I was an actor last month. I was an MC which day. Tomorrow I can be called to come. I still have a job as a news anchor. I'm still doing my TV program. I have a YouTube channel that is monetized. I'm building people. I'm a counselor and I get paid for that. Look, I mean, you're just a fruitful individual in all seasons, all right? So that's what it also does for you. Okay. So worthy of note, and this is the last slide before the last. Worthy of note, streamlining your focus becomes sharper. Your focus becomes sharper over time. So over time, like I said, not before, my bio will have 5 things, at least 5 that I do. And even at that, that's me being modest, okay? Because I literally do like everything. So MC, singer, DJ, event host, blah, blah, I list all of them. If you're looking for any of these, I'm available, you know? But now when you go to my profile, you see, Max. However, they kind of all connect. So it's also important that you get that. And over time, people have known me with these other things. So I'm not missing out on when they are looking for me to do this stuff, because I still do them anyway. And every now and then I'm still sharing to say, oh, today I got to do this. It's not the leading passion in this season of my life, but today, you know, I got to do this. And so people see it and they see how I do it. I'm like, oh, would you want to do that? So I'm not missing out on my other giftings, but just that now I'm not, it's not scattered in quotes anymore. It's not a season where I am trying to now learn about all my gifts, because I've gone through that process, okay? So I'm at a certain place where there's some quiet. There's some organizing. It is arranged. So that's what happens. They're in their different compartments. I know when to pull it out, when to put it back, and I know what I am sitting on right now. So the streamlining for me is now I know that pathfinding is my core in this season. I can actually say I've come to the place where I know, excuse me, I've come into my purpose. I believe my calling, but they're all connected, as I have explained. They're all connected. And guess what? This is me just saying this today. If tomorrow or next year, you hear me say that, another purpose has sprung up, okay, it is how we're wired, right? But at this point of my life, I know that part of my, and that's why I was saying that I will not totally agree that multipotentialites do not have a calling. A calling usually is your part to play in humanity and how you affect other lives. So your giftings and your talents are beautiful, but even in the giftings and the talents, there will be something that is a piece of impact. All of them, of course, have the entertainment value, blah, blah, blah. There's all of that. But do you know that there's something that is not just about you expressing yourself, you know, and enjoying just the total expression? It's more about the soul. There's something you have that reaches to the core of humanity. That is what I consider a calling. I speak to people in counseling. You see this thing that I do, and I consider it my calling too. People finding their soul, people finding their purpose, people finding why they're here. That's a calling for me. That's a gifting for me. So I'm grateful for my emceeing. I'm grateful for my acting, for my singing, and for the other things, an expression of my gift. But I know that my calling, what I consider the purpose. Hi, Aisha, sorry. Your music is here. Sorry. What I consider at this point in my life. And it's interesting that I've always known this. Somehow, I've always just known that I love to make people smile. I just like people to be happy. I remember when I was in the choir, because I've been in the choir the longest. Now, I've also come to the place where I know it is not a season for me to be in choir. But I was a choir girl for like 20 years of my life. It was the life. But when I moved to Abuja, I just knew choir no go work, because I know the demands that come with being in a choir. And no, it's not like I'm backsliding. Far from it. I just know that this is not the season to be a choir girl. So I will still function, you know, in especially like church, because I'm a church girl. But I will go to the media. It gives me better flexibility because of the season of my life. So I will do media now. I'll do media updates. I'll do all of that. But no. So everybody's saying, Basti, with this your voice. No. You're called. You are in the choir. Come to the choir. That's where you serve. You need still know how to serve. I have an answer. I will still serve, but not in the choir. So nobody can bamboozle me. I am the one who knows my journey. So that's also something you need to bear in mind. You're the one who knows the seasons. You're the one who understands your life. Okay, so I know the seasons. So back to this now. So that's it. With time, it will streamline. You will see that you're not all over the place anymore. But for now, and we're in different seasons, and all of us in this room would be in the different seasons, you know, of our lives and what it demands. So just know the season as well. So our wiring set us on a journey to self-discovery. Ours is like a voyage. We just, you know, it's a journey. We're just traveling. We're just moving from one birthing point to another birthing point. It's a journey of self-discovery. That's what we're about. We're not about just one thing. Oh, like I said, I usually tell my chef, you're blessed though. Your journey is easy. All you want to do in this life is cook. Finish. You found it. Excuse me. You know it. Don't stay in the kitchen. Don't be cooking. That's where your creative juices express. That's where you're creating. Your own is just to create different meals, create meal plans. It's share food. I say people like us, it's not just even in one industry per se, you know. So it's a consistent journey of self-discovery for us. So the third one is allowing yourself explore determines how quickly you will get to the ultimate calling, or if you ever get there at all. Yeah. So again, back to the thing I've been saying about allow yourself explore. Allow yourself, know the seasons and be willing to indulge them. Indulge your seasons. Indulge your seasons. They will lead to the total package of your discovery. Sometimes when you skip the season or you miss the season, it's like Lego, like building blocks, like you're building something. Sometimes when you miss a certain piece, it would put you in the place of maybe stagnation for a while, or just some form of incompleteness. Is that the word? Feeling incomplete, you know. So that's it. So follow your seasons, because it leads to a particular place that the divine has set ahead for you. For me, I believe strongly again that pathfinding, this where I am right now, is what my journey has led up to. And I'm still going, and I look forward to what lies ahead. All right. Okay, so here is where I go through. Let me go through the comments. How are we? Can we please say hi if you're here? Thank you. Impressive. Love you too.
Hi.
Hi. Please just leave me comments, I beg. I see that there's still 22 of us. Praise Jesus. If I'm not running away. Oh, hi, Peter Joshua. Thank you. Sorry, let me read your comments. Let me encourage myself. Okay, see you. Okay, check. Okay. You're a sister and a friend. Okay. So sorry, I can't respond. Oh, sorry, fam. I'm sorry. I want to get gingered. Universal person. You saw that, right? On a lighter note, please, what was the best way to scroll through this thing? Because I'm missing some things. Okay, 1 minute. On a lighter note, I'm sure some of us will be thinking they can also hold webinars like this. Ekiyama time is coming. And if you feel like it is time for it, my sister, go for it. Can we have the slides? Okay, please. I can work on that. Yeah. And the recording also, okay. Oh, you're inboring us. Thank you. We're good. We're learning. I'm connected. Please write on. Good job. You're doing well. Thank you. Great point. Wow, I'm just quiet. Wow, so true. So true. I'm feeling relieved. Beautiful. Thank you. Even coaches can kill a multipotentialite spirit. I agree. 100%. This literally happened to me. You see? Son, can you imagine? They don't know any better. They don't know any better. But thank God for us and this season of our lives. We're not judging you. Thank you. KYC, oh. Not me. KYC is a banking term. Know your customer. I tried to know my own. It wasn't easy. Explosive revelation. There's a feeling knowing that someone has walked your journey. Thank you so much. I'm inspired already. Ooh, thank you, guys. Ma, can you help us with the slide and audio recordings? Okay, thank you. We'll really love to have the recordings. Okay, great. That's encouraging. Very true. Yeah, okay. Impressive. Love you. Thank you, fam. Okay, let me see the recent ones. It's been a pleasure being here. I wish I don't have to go. Oh, don't worry. We're not going like very quickly. I'm going to take questions now. I thought I was abnormal, but I know best. You're not. Trust me. Like I said, we are the X-Men of the world. We are the mutants. We're the mutants. Okay, just got in and I'm blessed already. Thank you so much, Dorcas, for being here. Thank you for this session. Please, people have killed me because of the issue of being able to do a lot. Trust me, after now and when you begin to express yourself, they would be glad that you didn't listen to them and you did what you had to do. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. Rooting for you. Webinar has been smashed. On to the next. Hey, that's my coach. Thank you. Okay, fam. So I'm building a community. Is it because I'm saying thank you too much? The team just went to thank you. We're not there yet. Okay. So yeah. So I'm building a community. But before I speak about this community, please, let's speak about questions. Okay, let's get to questions. Let me pause my share. Okay. Sorry, I told you people that I'm a JJC with all these things. I'm trying to find my way. I'm multipotentializing. Okay, so let me see questions, please. For questions, I would not mind that you can type it if you want to type it, but you can also unmute and just ask a question, okay? I'm okay with that, okay? Or you can just ask in the comments. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions so far? Any questions? Anybody unmuting their mic, or you just want them in the, or this was clear enough? Tell me something. Did he answer all the questions? Tell me something. Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Choma Ode. Hi, darling. Good to see you. Go ahead.
Great. Okay, good to be here too. Before I go into my question, I'd like to say that this session has been very impactful. Like, I've actually learned a whole lot here. I was not feeling so well earlier about like I'm attending this session. I had told a lot of people. So if I don't come here, it's going to look somehow, one, and two, I'm going to miss out on a lot that I had expected. So my question, there are two very pivotal things I think you mentioned that I want to reiterate because they're going to lead me on to my question.
Okay.
So the part where you said there are periods in your life where as a multipotentialite when you feel like there's almost nothing happening despite having a lot of skills and knowing a whole lot of things, right? And the part where you said it seems like it's keeping anyways, but you're talking about how you could just be in certain spaces at certain times and later you feel like you don't even need those skills or whatever it is that you did or you were learning at a particular period of time. And so it gets me really confused because at some point I feel like there's a way I could get a single thread to go in between the whole buttons of all the things I do. And at other times you feel like, no, they are kind of complex. And okay, yes, I remember what I wanted to say earlier. You said you could have interest in different industries. Yes, that's the part I wanted to mention because I find it so confusing with myself when I feel like, okay, today I have an interest for the SDGs, aside from also loving the media space.
You have an interest for the SDGs?
Like, sustainable development goals.
Development, yes.
Yeah, sustainable development goals. So that's like in the developmental space. But at the same time, I know that I like to talk. I like to talk.
Right.
And so I think that comes very easily for me. And so when I think of all of these things that I want to do, I try to find a way to intertwine all of them, just like you said, that there's a way they are all intertwined. But I see that they are not exactly intertwinable. Pardon my English. But I find that
they aren't. We'll get there, but I get you. Okay, so let me any more questions? Okay, so how do you merge, right?
Yes, how do you merge and how do you cope with that period of your life? Because I think that is totally where I'm right now because I keep thinking, I see people online talking about building a personal brand, doing all of these things, and then I have a whole lot of things stacked up in my head, but how to bring them to execution now becomes a problem. Like, where do I start from? So how do you cope with that period when it feels like nothing much is happening in your life?
Beautiful. Okay, so first of all, Chioma, let me begin with when it seems like things are quiet. Sometimes when it seems like things are quiet, they're not exactly quiet. Things are going on. Let me give an example with you. I follow your page and I see what you're doing. And recently, I've been seeing that you've been making more videos of, I don't know if in the past few days I've seen any, but I've seen that you've been making videos more often. I think it's something, am I right? Just confirm with me. I don't, or maybe certain topics.
You're right. Yes.
Have I commented on it?
Yes, you have. I think it's 2 times.
Oh, I have? But have I commented on all? I didn't even know I had.
No, not all, I guess, but just a few of recent.
So most times, the feeling, how we judge whether we're doing enough or not is with the response we get from other people. I get there. Is when, you have all the likes, you're trending, people are posting. Till today, I'm waiting for trend. I don't feel like I'm trending enough, let me be honest. Sometimes I see my videos say 15,000 views, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Sometimes I'll post. I post some videos and it's 200 and something likes, which I feel like it should be more now at this point. And sometimes I post and it's 26 likes. I'm like, but let me tell you something that I feel like the divine who has gifted us tells me. Keep going. Keep going. Someone said one time, one of a spiritual leader, and it didn't really make sense then when it stuck somewhere, but now it's even more realistic for me. And this is what he said. He said, where we're going is not far. Where you're going is not far. It's just that you're branching too much. You're stopping to branch it. Stopping to branch it. And no, these are two different things. So don't mix it up. This is like the Bible. Before you say, so am I branching too much with my multipotentiality? No, that's your journey. But I'm saying that sometimes when we are stopping, this thing that we want to feel the pulse of the people to know if we're doing exactly what they want, if we're doing what is acceptable. Those pauses, they're actually us branching off too much. So when we're supposed to be creating more content and putting ourselves out more, we are waiting and delaying ourselves because we're waiting to feel the pulse of people and wait to get a reaction for the one we've done now first before we do the next one. When we know that from within us, we know that compass is telling us keep moving. Do you understand? For example, Chioma, I see what you do. And I'm even impressed that I can see that you're doing more. So to you, it might not feel like you're doing more because you might not be getting the feedback that you expect to get. It's a process, it's a journey. One day, it will all come together. You will see that videos that I posted 1 year ago, all of a sudden, this one that I'm posting a year later is the one that is trending, and it's now making the others catch fire. And then people are beginning to watch what you have been doing all your life, the seasons of your struggle. That you seem to be in the shadows and in the dark. You'll see that all of a sudden, because you have stayed and it is time, when your manifestation comes forth, every other thing comes into light. So allow yourself go through your process. Keep doing what you are doing. Follow your inner leadings. People are watching. They might not be saying much, but they are watching. And what's most important, let the satisfaction you get be in your expressions. Just do the right things. Keep learning, of course. There's always how to do it with the moving or movement of technology. There are different ways to be able to express certain things based on the world standard. The world is a world of excellence. So if it is the quality of it, let me give you an example. I have my laptop camera, but I know that my phone camera will do better. And I'm like, I beg, quality, do you get? And most of this earlier today, like the early hours of the morning, I've been preparing for this. What we went to YouTube to go and watch and learn how to do and connect is how to make my phone a webcam. Just so the quality is better, because the world has a certain standard. And so it's like the bush on fire. When they see it, they're like, what's that? So that's why I say sometimes it's okay to do your videos, and do stuff and don't wear makeup and use one poor camera. You say, I'm expressing myself. Someone has literally told me, say, Basti, this is your chop head that you're always showing. She says, it's okay, that, I want to be me. I don't want to be somebody else. I don't want to live a fake life or whatever. She says, but and this was in 2020 when acting was the core for me. And she says, the producers will come to your page. And when they see that you're just doing anyhow, they will not take you seriously. She said, I'm sorry, I don't know how this will come, but trust me. She says, I'm not saying you should go and be doing. So I'm sure you get the balance of this conversation, because you came with a pinch of salt, but I got the message. I got the message. Even the people that you look out to and you follow. So this is me saying you're doing a good job, keep going. However, if you feel like there are other things you can improve on, it's okay to begin to improve on them. But keep showing up now the best way that you can show up. The best way that you can show. Don't say you won't show up until then. No, it's part of your journey. Time will come when you look back and you're like, hey, God, Chioma, we'll see how you started. See where you are now. So allow yourself build your story. That's okay. When it was 2 views, 1 view, no view, let you keep building up, but just keep going. Okay. So of course, and work towards excellence every step. along the way. One step at a time, work towards excellence, because the world has a standard, okay? And it is not an evil, it is God's standard, if I'll be honest. It's the system that God has put, which is the system of excellence. It's excellence, is what we are also drawn to, okay? So as much as you can do that. The second question, how you merge your different passions. So I mentioned my passions were entertainment, media, and hospitality, counseling. How did they join? And for the longest, I was confused. One time, I think I was mentioning and I digressed. I was in the choir because I was passionate about humanity. I just wanted to help people. You know, there's hospitality department in church. I met my pastor. I said, I'm moving to hospitality. I'm leaving choir. And I don't even know what he told me there. Shafi, I should stay in the choir. I stayed. But I know exactly how I felt. I felt like, this is what I want to do. And there's no merger to Ministry of Health and Entertainment. At that time, I didn't get it. So I remember that I came for NCCF. I was part of NCCF when I was serving. And I came for one of the national conferences. It was in Jos. I feel like I'm in Jos. It was in Jos. And we, the first, general conference had happened. And it was time to go into breakout sessions. So they said, hospitality, excuse me, sorry. Hospitality department, you're meeting here, come this way. If you are in the entertainment, you know how they say the different mountains of influence in life, different mountains. So what you feel like is like you're in two different mountains. Which mountain would you climb? So the different mountains of influence. There was an entertainment meetup, breakout. There was this. I just said, God, oh yeah, help me. Which one should I go to? I feel like this is my purpose, which is hospitality, helps. I feel like that's my purpose. But I'm passionate about the media. What should I do? And this is what had kept me till this point. I felt like what God told me. So I have a work with God, and like I told you before, to keep showing. What God said rested in my spirit was, your media is a means to an end. And sometimes God will tell you based on what you can understand per time. He might not show you the full picture. And he says your media is a means to an end. How I understood it, you're supposed to do media with like the youth of your life. Then as you get to, my thought, 50 later, you will settle into helps. That was how I thought it was going to be. Because since I was much younger, I already have like the vision of creating, I even call it Smile City, a development center for people where they can grow. I had this vision since I was not like a vision, but like it laid upon my heart since I was, let me say, 17. Since I was like 17. So that was where my walk with God started, baptized in the Holy Spirit. I was writing, they were just coming. That's when I started understanding my journey and my path. So since like 17, that was when I had this Smile City dream that I'll own a development center with young people and I'll help them discover their gifts and their talents. Albeit then, I was thinking about only entertainment because that was what I was passionate about, which was media. So I said I'll be able to help them develop their singing talent, dancing talent, and then I'll set you up, you get to a certain stage, and then we can let you go to go and flourish. That was what Smile City was about. So which is development, which is humanity, which is health. But then the connection I had with my media, was that I was going to help people self-discover. But now I help people self-discover all around, And another thing for me is I have started humanity now because pathfinding is humanity related. And I'm not even in my 50s. This pathfinder, it was last year, September. 3 a.m., it just hit me, the Pathfinder. I'm telling you. And since I wrote that thing, it just stayed. My confirmation comes from people. Hi, the Pathfinder, people sharing there. I'm like, okay, we're here. I'm like, God, I thought this was for later. How come we're here? Another way that I know that there's a merger now between my being a media personality and my hospitality edge or counseling edge or humanity edge is with my show, The Pathfinder. Do you get it? So after a while, I'm like, I see it. So God is training me to be a media personality. And I told you, my passion has always been TV. So God trained me to be a media personality, but with passion for humanity. Because what he has called me to be or to do is something like an opera. Because opera is humanity, but she's also media. Opera has a school in South Africa. She's always bringing one person to the US to groom them. Opera used to build houses and do stuff for people on her show. And I've just realized, that's it for me. So it's been a journey, but now I've gotten to the place where I see it. And you will too. So there is a connection between, much as it doesn't seem like there's any connection at all, there's a connection between your media self and your love for development. And as you journey, you would find it. All right? Are you there? Is Chioma here?
Okay, yes, so I am sorry. I am.
This is 10. We need to go. This is getting quite long. But do you get it?
Yes, I do. It's adding up perfectly. Thank you so much.
Is what? Did you answer your question?
Yes, you did. You did.
Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. All right.
Thank you.
I have a question. Okay, Chioma, glad to know one is not alone after years of feeling like the most confused person in the world. This was great. Thank you, so. I would like to make a contribution if that is okay. Oh, yes, please. So let me just finish taking the questions and then we'll make room for that. Oh my God, this is deep. Amarachi, thank you. Have to go, sis. Oh, battery out. Well, get power bank. You're making a lot of sense. Thank you, Chioma. Okay. I saw a hand raised up. Great justice to the question. Thank you, Ilya. Chioma, I see you crying. Okay. Sorry, does anybody have another question? I think I'm just going to go with one. I'm sorry. So now is a good time to speak about this community, right? Because you can get all your questions answered there. Literally. Okay. So something exciting. It doesn't end with the webinar. There is a provision for us to continue going. Okay. So yeah. Are we good? Amarachi raised her hands. Did I see that? Okay, so let me speak about this community because we're behind time. Now, I'm creating a community. Actually, what I call it is, and this is I call it a working title because that's what we do and so let me say thank you and then let me go out. Thank you so much, everybody. I've taken the questions. This community should have come before now. I want to stop sharing so I can see myself. Yeah. Let me stop sharing for now. So this community I've created is a community of people who are us, who are here, who want a guide and some accountability to help with their clarity journey. That's what this is about. I have to go now. Oh, thank you so much. Low battery again. Okay. Sorry, get power bank next time. To help, can we get mails about the community? Okay, that's fine. Okay, no, so see, right? Let me give you this number because it's on the last page. Sorry, I zoned out and I came to this full screen, but I think I can share screen still again. There's a number that I put there, and so maybe you can take that number if you want to be part of the community. But I want to show what the community is about, and I think that is very, very important. So here is a number, right? Collins, are you here? Collins was helping me set the community up on WhatsApp.
I am.
So how can we get into the community? Because this is just for those who are leading, but I'm going to break it down anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so I could just drop the link.
Okay, great.
You could click to join the community, and so I've dropped the link. They could just click to join the community.
Okay, great. So the link is there and you can join. So now this is what the community is about. I have realized that most of us would, in fact, everybody needs some level of guidance. And following what I do and what I believe that I'm called to do, which is to help people discover their purpose and bring clarity through their journey, I have decided that I am going to have what I call a purpose clarity course for 6 weeks. That's how long it is going to be for, per time. Now, what we're going to be benefiting from this is, of course, one-on-one, like we're doing here, because, I mean, it doesn't end with a webinar. It can't, right? Every now and then, you would need to be able to cross-check what you're doing or have somebody who is like a mentor or an accountability partner. Because I see some of you here like, me, mentor, bow. Some of you here are doing such great work that, see, Umson, I mean, Umson is going to get to contribute soon. And I'm like, please, I don't feel like I'm in the place to tag myself your mentor. However, that's totally on you. It depends on you. But where it's a mentorship program or an accountability program for 6 weeks, where we can be accountable to each other, we will have targets for every week. We would build clarity with our journeys. Every week we would have meetings. Aside the meetings, we would have one-on-ones. You would have an accountability partner. So we are checking on you to ensure that if you have goals, those goals are met. We have tasks to do. We would have facilitators every week that cover how we can take advantage of tech in these present times, the different tools that we can apply, the different ways that we can spread ourselves out to ensure that we're maximizing our full potential, and much more. That's what this 6 weeks is going to be about. This 6 weeks is, today is what date? Let me just begin with, this. That's what it's about. And this is going to come at a fee. It's not free. I know we like free stuff, but it ain't gonna be free. This is going to be paid for. But honestly, looking at the value that you get, I'm almost saying, if you do not get value, look, you see my life, right? You're here because you see my life and you see the results. And so, no, you know that I'm not here to scam you. If you are willing to make a financial commitment to your growth, you will get it. I know how much I've committed. Collins is here. I know how much I've committed. And to other people, I'm in an accountability group and I know how much I paid for this year to be able to get myself aligned to do stuff, especially as a multipotentialite. There's a tendency to just be all over the place and not be able to be focused sometimes. It's possible to. So every now and then you want to be sure, am I on track? And it's just, I know how important it is to have somebody that you're accountable to. And there's a lot to benefit, like I said, from this journey. And so we are building this community. And a number of us are going to work, or as many as I can. I'm looking to do it in batches, really, because I don't want it to be too overwhelming that I'm not able to give everybody attention. So I'm looking to do it in batches. And it's going to be a situation of a first come, first served basis. The fee for this is 50,000 Naira for the 6 weeks. The leverage I can do with that is I can let you pay in 2 installments. I know there are people here who can pay at once, but in case that is, because I know there are much younger people, like the different categories of individuals here. There are different categories of individuals with multipotentiality, right? Potentiality. So if that is a challenge for you, then I can allow that to be split in 2 installments. 6 weeks of purpose clarity mentorship course. That is what this is going to be about. I call it Get It. That's like the working title. Get it, like get it done. And so we're going to travel this journey, and I'm going to be right here. You're going to, of course, get much more benefits than this with that one-on-one journey. You're going to have me as an accountability partner. You're going to have another accountability partner, and you're just going to have somebody keep tabs on you to ensure that you were getting the job done. And that is what this is going to be about. Like I said, facilitators from some people who are here are going to be part of the facilitators, who are silently just watching are going to be part of the facilitators, people who are professionals in their right. Yes, I look forward to getting people that you also know. Yeah. I'm hoping to come through with surprises, pleasant surprises as we run this course. But it's just going to be a school of growth, of excitement. And I look forward to this. I'm excited about this. Again, no, I don't even have to say it, but this is much more about just you making a financial commitment is part of your growth. It's for your good, you know, but it's also about me just being totally passionate about this. But making that commitment is for you to grow, for you to understand that that's how the world also goes. You would pay for growth, and you should begin to learn that already. So 50,000 Naira for 6 weeks of the Purpose Clarity coaching, you can call it coaching course. And yeah, we're in for a great time. So if you are interested in this, please join the group. However, in the classifications or the groups that I said, because the batches, that is going to be on a first come, first serve basis. So if you make a commitment early enough, then you're going to be in the first batch. And if it goes beyond the numbers that, you know, I am looking at, then I would have to push you to the second batch. But yes, that's what we're looking at. And you're the first to hear this. I'm going to put this out to the public. But yes, you get the first opportunity being part of this webinar to be the first partaker of this vine. And I'm excited about that. So thank you so much for being here. Again, the link is there. Collins has put it up. Please just join the group, okay? So we can take it up from there. And if you have any questions or any challenges as it concerns this course, or this process, please let me know. Thanks so much for a beautiful webinar. Thank you so much, Obedepo Comfort. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Unson, are you still here? Can you say, then I give my final words and we end? We are good to go. Yes, we did it. Yeah.
Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
Unson. Good to see you.
Hi, Masity.
You're not showing us your face?
Okay, let me show you my ugly face.
No, you're so pretty. You know that you fashionista like you.
Oh, it's the middle of the night. So
I know, right? See, there you are. Okay, go ahead.
So thank you so much for putting this together. When I saw this on your wall on Instagram, I was excited because just Sunday, I was sharing with someone, I was writing a book for children. And the first thing they asked me is, what really is your passion? So seeing you write all of that was refreshing for me. And one of the answers I have for people when they ask me is because is this. It's not every passion that is about making money. Right. Sometimes God puts these things in our hearts or minds to lift somebody out of a place. And that has been the case with me because most of the things I've done, I have just seen people who have seen me do it reach out to me and start to do it even better. So I see myself as a pebble on the water, just creating ripples that are reaching far in the sands of time. So one other thing I want people to look at is when you start to share your, is it potential or whatever you're doing, don't first of all think about the money. And that is what this book I'm writing is about. One thing I said to this person is, I'm reading a book right now of a lady who wrote it in 1947. She didn't think that Unson would read that book when she wrote it. So I'm writing a book for children. I'm not thinking about the children who may read it now. It may be for a child in the next 50 years. So can we start to look at some of the things that we do as legacy?
That's right.
That
Thank
way,
you so
we
much.
will not feel as burdened. So let me not take your time. I just wanted to put out there.
Thank
it's not always about the money. Just start
I agree.
Thank
Even
you.
though it's a good time to add, Son, that the books will bring you money. So
yes,
just you know, just what I'm saying, but money is not the first thing on your mind as you create.
Yeah.
It's the way that we all are driven by passion. Passion is your first drive, not money, but money will eventually come. It's the reward that you get for value. You know, it's the reward for value. So thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for staying and being here.
My pleasure.
Thank you everyone for being here. I am tempted to say, would anybody be willing to, you know, just say something? Bobby, I see you're still here. Would you want to please just say something about the webinar? Give some feedback, any feedback you want to share, maybe 1, 2 people, if there's anything that you know is a takeaway for you and you would want to share from what you got today. And that would do it for me. Are we good? Reverend Bobby Joachim.
Good evening, everyone. Glad to be here and glad to connect with everyone, of course. So it's amazing that this has come and this has been achieved. And congrats to you. Congrats to everyone who's going to sign up for these exclusive accountability sessions. I really look forward to the transformation, and thank you for bringing this word to light. You know, when I saw the whole detail about what you were about to do, I was wondering which one is multi. Now, I think all of us are struggling with that pronunciation.
I know.
I think I should show my face just a bit. Yeah, let me do. Good.
Thank you.
And so I just kept asking, but when I checked it out and I discovered what it meant, it was exciting. So I like to say congrats to you. You know, I've always got your back. You know, I've always got you to do this more and more. And I'm always here to support. Thank you, everyone who has stayed on this call for a long time. You know, Talia, leave me alone.
I see her. Yeah.
We learn every day. So thank you very much for doing this. And I look forward to more webinars. I told myself I'm going to be here throughout.
Thank you so much.
So good job.
And you stayed through. I truly appreciate it.
Please do well to apply the lessons that you learned today. Do well to just apply. And if you have questions, relate to Varsity and she will do you well.
Yes, please.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Coach Bobby. That's a coach, by the way. He's a life coach. Some of the things that you see here, I've literally learned from Bobby. So yeah, that's Bobby. You can check him out if you want. Thank you so much, everyone. I think it's a good time to end. Like, I've taken so much time. If you have anything to share, you can send to me personally. And please, that would be, thank you. God bless your heart. Thank you, TAs. Thank you so much. That would be something for me to take away. Please leave me some feedback. You can share it on your social media platform so I can reshare. You can send them to me personally, whatever works. But your feedback would be my, what now? Would be a reward for me. Okay, God bless you. I love you, people. Please join the group if you're interested in continuing to be part of a community of multipotentialites and to have this. There will be much more, of course, you know, that will come from this. But please, let's keep it going, okay? Let's keep it going and do well to share. I love you too, Benga. Do well to share with other people. It's an opportunity for growth. It's not about the money. It's an opportunity for growth. It's the sacrifice that you would make to get to where you want to get to. It's the same sacrifice that I am making to get to this. I make to get to this point, and I'm still making. I mean, I had to pay dollars to sign up for this Zoom call to be able to be here for 2 hours. Yes, you would spend money to get there. But what this also does for you is by the time that you have gone through the process of being made, then you're able to also multiply, right? And when you multiply, you will get rewarded for it, even financially. And so it doesn't become a struggle, which is what has happened for me so far. Okay, so consider this an investment for your purpose, for your future, for your life, and even for your finances. This is an investment. I can promise you. I promise you it will be a worthy investment. Okay, God bless you, fam. Take care and see you soon. Cheers. Keep living. Okay, goodbye. Let me hear your goodbyes.
Bye.
Bye, Chalia.
Bye. Goodbye.
Bye, Benga. Bye, Chelma, Jamima, Tosin. Thank you, Dorcas. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All right.